Welcome to Spiritual Changemakers, the podcast that guides you through tough times with practical tools and inspiring stories. I'm Andreea Tamas, your host and the Sacred Transitions Coach. Join us as we hear from spiritual changemakers who have connected with their higher power and overcame adversity. Whether you are navigating a difficult transition or seeking to deepen your spiritual practice, our podcast provides guidance to help you find magic in the change. Come on this journey of self-discovery, empowerment, and transformation with us and unlock your potential to become your best self. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to a new podcast episode of Spiritual Changemakers. I'm so excited to dive into a new podcast episode with you that is so dear to my heart because we are going to talk about the power of personal experiences, of your stories, and how they relate to your coaching practice, to your leadership. So stay tuned for a very juicy episode where by the end of it, you are going to have exactly the tips, the tools on how you can start utilizing and why you should even start utilizing your personal experiences in your own practice, in your business. And please just grab a cup of coffee, grab a blanket if it's chilly where you're at. It's very warm where I'm at right now in Germany. And make yourself comfortable because we are going to have a very real conversation. Okay? We're going to have a real conversation on why you should start using your personal experiences in your coaching. And the reason why I'm doing this podcast and the reason I have started going deeper and deeper on this path is because I have witnessed on myself in my own life the tremendous impact it had when I started using that with my own clients within my own business. And because I care so much about you and I care about your success. And I care for us, for coaches, for the leaders to truly show up more authentically, more genuinely, like with more integrity. I am doing this podcast today. And if you haven't really listened to any other episodes from my podcast, what I encourage you to do is go and listen to episode number 1, where I'm sharing on why I have even started this podcast. So you understand a little bit about my history and what brought me here today. And we have 20 something episodes right now, which is absolutely amazing. And I want to thank to each and every one of you for your amazing support, for tuning in, for believing, believing in this podcast, believing in this mission, believing in this vision, because without you, we wouldn't exist. So I just want to show my love and my appreciation for you before I move forward. And what you're going to learn by the end of this podcast episode, I am going to give you a big overview on why you should start using your stories and your personal experiences today in your coaching business, how they help your clients relate to you. And then I'm going to share with you at the end of the podcast some really practical tools that can help you today in your coaching practice to apply and start utilizing those stories after this podcast episode. What do you say? Should we tune in? Are you ready? Okay, let's do it. And I'm going to share with you some really personal stories. So I can give you really a big understanding about the subject today. And I know many of you that are listening to this podcast are really genuine souls, are big souls, are those souls that care about making an impact in the world, because I know that's who I am and that's the type of people that I'm attracting. So I know if you're listening to this, that you are one of them. And probably you have done many or a few coaching certifications, courses along the way. I have done probably around 5 coaching certifications. I know when I started on this journey back in 2019, I was doing like one coaching certification after the other. And the reason I was doing that is because I've had inside of me constantly that feeling of I don't feel good enough. And I was thinking if I'm going to add more knowledge, more knowledge, more knowledge, I am going to feel more confident. I'm going to feel better to help my client. And what I have learned from that process, from doing so many different coaching certifications, is that while they are absolutely amazing, and I do believe we need a foundation as coaches. So, you know what the heck we are doing? No? What I have found out after 5 years or so that I have been in this industry is that nothing can beat your stories, nothing can beat your personal experiences. And the way your clients, your tribe, your soul aligned clients are going to relate to you when you share your personal experiences, it goes beyond any certifications that you have. And this is why I want to bring more of this perspective where we lead as coaches from an embodied place. We lead based on what we have overcome, the challenges that we have faced in our lives. Because I'm such a big believer, such a big proponent that the reason why you have experienced the pain, the challenges, the trials and errors within your life, it's because it's part of your purpose. It's part of what you are meant to help other people through. And even when you're reading any books on coaching or just in general, you'll see that there is this like general theme. And the general theme is that no knowledge is going to beat the authenticity and the way people relate to us the best is through our stories. It's through storytelling. It's through sharing what challenges we have overcame ourselves and to feel confident to break through that barrier, thinking that people are just looking for information, when instead they are looking for a human being on the other side that can understand them deeply, that can see them deeply. And this is how you show them the best, that you see them, that you can hold their journey, you can hold their pain because you yourself, you have been there. And there has been a research done by the Coaching Institute where 80% of clients revealed that their coaching journey felt so much more meaningful when their coach shared their personal stories. So when you coach a client one on one or in a group, when you share your stories, then that client is going to relate and have a so much bigger impact in their journey. 87%. That's a lot. And not just that, but 80% said that these experiences that the coaches shared made the advice so much more tangible and real. Because just think about yourself a little bit. When someone comes to you and tries to tell you something, to help you see from a different perspective things or give you an advice, and they never, ever been to anything similar or close to what you are going through in that moment, when they share something with you, what is going to be your first thought? It's probably going to be like, oh, this person, like, they don't get it. They don't understand me because they never been there. But when someone comes to you, let's say for me, that I have been through the grief of my partner and I'm going through the grief of my life partner. When I meet someone that lost their partner recently or at any given moment, and I share with them from my own experience on how I have dealt with it, what helped me to move forward and so on, my stories and the impact that it has over them, it's, oh my God, it's, I would say, at least 10 times higher than if I would just try to give them an advice or share my stories without being through that grief myself. Does it make sense? So this is where the importance of you sharing your stories and being vulnerable, showing your human side to your audience, to your clients, comes through. And I've had, oh my gosh, a lot of really crazy stories throughout my life. And when I decided to move to USA at the age of 24 from Romania, and I had $2,000 in my pocket, I had no freaking clue that moving there is going to shake me to the core, that is going to change my whole being. And I have been through the deepest and darkest moments after I moved to USA. From, oh my God, having a near death experience at the age of 25. So only 1 year after I moved to USA, I had this near death experience where I thought I'm never going to be normal again. I lived in fear, in shame, in guilt, in depression for at least 1 year. To after that, losing my life partner due to a cancer journey that we have been together on for 9 months. And imagine that he was also from Romania and we had no family there, no blood family. So I was his all. I was his caregiver. I was everything for him. And not just that, but what I remember, when we have found out back in 2021 that he got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, I remember a day or so after that, I was at the beach and my coach called me at that time. And I shared with him how terrified I am. I told him, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can take it if something is going to happen with him. I was already so far ahead into the future that I couldn't be in the present anymore. And my coach in that moment asked me, Andreea, I want you to imagine that you are 1 year from now and look back and ask yourself right now, how do you want to show up? Who do you want to be during this period? And I remember making a decision in that very given moment because my answer to him changed everything for me. And I told him that I want to be a freaking leader. That's what I want to be. I want to be able to lead the heck out of myself, to lead myself in a way that when I'm going to look back, I'm going to be so proud of the way I showed up. And I will have no regrets because I know I did everything that was in my power. And the fact that I had my coach in that very moment, and he helped me, he guided me to get to that moment where I made that decision, it shifted everything for me. And guess what? During that period, I did showed up as my best self. And yes, right now, when I look back, I have no regrets. And I'm curious how many people can say that. And I was so lucky and so blessed because I didn't only have my coach, but I also had the tools to lead myself during those moments. Because remember, I was already being in the coaching industry, in the healing industry for a couple of years. And I knew it in the moment when we found out about his diagnosis. I knew it that all the work, everything I have learned, it prepared me for that very moment. And unfortunately, my partner did transition to the other side in 2022. So those have been some of my biggest challenges and stories and personal experiences. But not just that. After my partner transition, I have decided to start traveling the world because that has been my dream since I was a little girl. That has been one of the reasons why I have even moved to United States, because I told myself I'm moving to United States, the American dream. And this is where I'm going to become financially independent to be able to start traveling the world. And do you think I was financially independent when I've made the decision that that's it, I'm going to start traveling the world? No, I was not. But where I was at that point, I knew that there is no time to waste because life is so short. And this is what all these previous experiences have taught me, how short life is, and that there is really no time to waste. And if I'm going to wait until I'm going to have everything perfect, everything dialed down, everything to the T, probably I will never start traveling the world. So I decided to trust, to surrender, to take a leap of faith and do it. Because what I told myself in that moment, I told myself, if I have this big pull, this big desire in my heart, in my soul, there has to be a reason behind it. And I know I will be guided and supported. I know I can figure it out because I always did. So it was a blend of trusting myself and trusting the universe that I can do it, that I got this. And I was terrified to start traveling solo. Not just like start traveling, but solo too. Because I've never fully done it to just go in new destinations throughout the world and travel solo. And all these things happened in such a short period of time. So at 24, I moved to US. At 25, I had a near-death experience. At 32, my life partner transitioned. At 33, while I was on my travels, I found love again. And in those moments when I found love again, my mind was telling me, no, 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 Andrea, you need to continue being single, focus on yourself, focus on your healing. You don't want to be in a relationship right now. Just continue focusing on yourself. And what I can tell you is that it's so much easier to continue this path on your own than opening your heart again, than trusting that even though you might have experienced the hardest pain in throughout your whole life, it is safe and it's okay again to open your heart. So these have been some of my biggest, I would say, challenges, transitions, life experiences. And how do we take this and now actually help my clients, help other coaches, other healers? Because what I do with these personal experiences, I'm not just sharing them here on the podcast, on social media, but I use them as a way to show people how real I am, to show my clients when we have one-on-one conversations that I have been through that. And the biggest thing I would say from all these experiences that I've had is the embodiment, is the fact that, especially starting with my life partner's diagnosis, I was able to lead myself. So I've led myself through those challenges and what that does. And yeah, this is where it comes like a very tricky thing where you're like, oh, yeah, but I haven't led myself, because maybe you have asked for support and you consider that leading yourself means you have to do everything by your own. So I really want to encourage you right now, maybe pause this episode and ask yourself, what does it mean to lead yourself? So you have a definition for that. For me, leading myself meant that I have showed up as my best version in those moments. And I have applied my own tools to support myself during those hard moments. I remember doing anchoring exercises that I have learned in my NLP certification, doing the bubble protection tool. So I was applying throughout that journey a lot of different tools to support my evolution and to be a beacon of light for my partner. Because that was another thing that it was one of my purposes. It was one of my goals to be the light for him during those dark moments. And I am sure right now, if you look back at your personal experiences, that you have been able to lead yourself, especially if right now you are out of that challenge. You have rised up because you have overcame that challenge. So you don't have to be this superhuman or superman in order to think that you have led yourself. It's purely showing up as your best self. And in those moments, what I realized is how freaking lucky I was that I also had all the tools under my belt to be able to support myself, to be able, exactly during the storm that I was in, to look at my challenges, to look at the pain in a way what I was able to look at it from the perspective of, oh my God, this is happening for a higher purpose. This is happening for a bigger reason. And I know this is for happening for me. It is for my growth. So I knew it and I knew it and I have applied that during the storm. And I would say this is the beauty of having also the tools. That's why right now I'm so passionate of equipping other coaches and healers with the right tools on mind, body, and spirit to be able to help their clients transitions while they are in the storm, to be able to lead themselves. So later on, they don't live with regret. Because what I have done, it is possible for anyone. It is available for everyone. But sometimes people, they don't have the right tools or they don't have the guidance. And when they open themselves up to receive that, I would say that their whole life it's going to change forever, because the reality is that every single one of us is going through the dark night of the soul. Everyone. Like, I don't know if you have met one person throughout your life who told you, "Oh, I've never had any challenges in my life. My life is all butterflies." No, this is something that each and every one of us is going through. So when you go through that, you have two choices. One choice is to grow, to look at it as an opportunity for growth. And then ask yourself, how can I utilize this within my life? What are the lessons I have learned and I can apply? So this is one path that you can go on, and your clients as well. And the other path is that you are going to be traumatized by your experience, by your challenge. You are going to be traumatized, and then you are going to live in the victim mentality, where you think that everyone is against you, that all these circumstances, that it's happening to you instead of for you. But you get to make the choice. And if you are conscious, aware, and if you have the right tools, the right guidance, the right support, then you can choose the first path, which is not only going to benefit you, but it's going to benefit everyone around you. So all these personal stories, they are the guiding my approach to coaching right now. And they really fortified my ability to emphasize, to relate, and to offer like really profound insights to those that they mentor. And now I want to give you some practical tools on how you can start using these personal experiences and how you can start integrating them within your business, your coaching, your healing practice, within your leadership. Because as coaches, it's not just having the experiences, but how is it that we can harness them effectively? And I want to give you 5 ways on how you can start integrating that and your personal stories, your personal tale in your coaching practice. So I hope you have a notebook next to you, because it's very important for you to take notes and then apply what you are learning today within your life. And make sure you take and to apply what resonates with you. And not everything that I'm sharing, it is going to resonate with you. And that's perfectly fine. But please take what resonates with you and apply it in your life. Okay. So the first thing that you can start doing is reflective journaling. And what that means is that you want to consistently write down your experiences. Yeah, you want to keep a journal where you are going to write down your experiences. And over time, this journal becomes like a collection of insights, of lessons, and stories that you can integrate within your sessions, within your marketing, and greatly to become like a magnet for your tribe, for your soul aligned clients. So that's the first one, reflective journaling. The second one is narrative integration. So you want to bring in seamlessly these personal stories during your session. And while you are sharing, it's very important to look at it and keep a balance. It's important to strive for a balance to ensure that your client remains the main focus, the focal point within the session. Because while it's very important to share these personal experiences, you don't want to take over the session either. Yes. So that's the second one, the narrative integration. The third one is experience led specialization. And this is where it's important for you to just analyze your experiences and look for patterns, because you are going to notice that there are going to be some patterns within your life. And these patterns can actually guide you towards specific coaching specialization. And it's going to allow you to address certain like niche challenges. And I'm so passionate about this because this is a huge part of what we are actually doing in Sacred Transitions Academy. So, experience led specialization. The fourth one is empathy mapping. And what that means, this tool is going to help you in just visualizing what your clients might be feeling, because you already know that the way your clients feel so crucial in creating the shift and long term transformations within their life. So, this is where you're going to combine your experiences to offer insights that resonate deeply with their current situation. So, the fourth one is empathy mapping. And the fifth one is feedback loop. So after you are going to share a personal experience, you want to seek for feedback from your clients. And you want to ask them, okay, how this story, how me sharing my experience helped you in your progress, helped you move forward, helped you understand better your current situation. So you want to ask for feedback, and this is going to help you understand the impact of your narrative and how you can just refine your storytelling approach. Okay, so these are the five tools. And it's very important if this resonated with you, for those that are seeking a deeper exploration on how you can blend your personal experiences with the knowledge you have accumulated within your coaching experiences. I want to invite you to a beautiful and unique opportunity. I'm putting together an immersion, which is called Transformative House, and how you can unlock your coaching potentials through personal experiences. So we're going to become experience driven experts. That's my vision. That's my vision, where coaches, where healers, where leaders are sharing from their embodiment, are sharing from their own experiences, and are helping people at that deep and profound level. And what we are going to do in those 90 minutes, in the immersion that is going to be 90 minutes, we are going to look at the intertwining of personal narratives and the effective coaching. We are going to share the real life challenges and how we take our challenges and we transform them in victories. We are going to do an engaging activity helping you map your personal journey. And not just that, but we are going to help you understand how personal challenges can lead to coaching niche specialization. And then I'm going to give you a glimpse into my exclusive coaching programs when you are going to join this immersion. And we're going to do, of course, a Q&A. And what is very important for you to know about this immersion is that it's going to be an experience. It's going to be very practical. So it's going to be like minimum teaching, because I already shared with you, even in this podcast, so many things. You do not need more teaching. I think we are at a point in our lives within the industry where we don't need more teaching, but we need more experiences. We need more embodiment. So I want to encourage you, if this podcast episode touched your heart, if it sparked something within you, to join us on Monday, August the 28th at 8 a.m. Pacific time for a live experience, a live immersion that is going to help you show up with more authenticity, integrity, and with genuine care in the industry, in the coaching industry. Because I can tell you something that I know for sure, which it is that together we are going to disrupt the coaching industry, because people are wanting, are craving for more authenticity, for more realness, for more relatability. This is the gift we give them when we share and when we use our personal experiences in our coaching practice. So we are almost at the end of the episode, and I hope it really inspired you to just look back at your past, look at your stories, look at your personal experiences, and really understand the value that each and every one of them is holding. Because they are so much more than memory. They are really stepping stones that you have been through in order to help you create a bigger and more meaningful impact in this world. So make sure you're going to go and check out the show notes in order to register for the upcoming immersion. I cannot wait to have you there and to create a beautiful experience for you, a sacred and safe space for you to dive deep into your personal experiences. I love you. I appreciate you. And I believe in you so much. I really don't take this lightly. So thank you. Wow. Thanks for tuning in to Spiritual Changemakers podcast. To stay connected and help us reach more people like you, please subscribe, follow, and leave a comment. Join our community of spiritual changemakers on social media to connect with like-minded individuals and continue the conversation. Remember, the power to create positive change is within you. Keep showing up as your best self, and let's keep the magic of change alive. Until next time.